Hey everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope you all are doing happy, doing blessed, doing safe, doing well. And I hope you've had a happy Christmas and I hope everything's going groovy for y'all during this Christmas New Year season. Originally tonight I was going to play some more Fortnite, maybe some more World of Warships, maybe some more War Thunder. But and I'm going to kind of bring it up because my screen on my TV is completely flictified right now. I mean, it is just absolutely flictified right now. So I'm going to bring it up, and so that way you can see it. If I could do window capture photo. So that's my TV screen right now. Okay. Now, lines have been forming on it for about a month now, but they were never this bad. Okay. Now the other side of the screen is fine and dandy, but there ain't no way I can play like that. Okay. I mean, two big old gaps where there should be an image. I mean, no matter what game I played, it would be completely messed up. I mean, even editing videos is completely messed up. So I went ahead and just said, you know what? We're just going to have a talking stream. Okay. Because I am not going to be able to be on during New Year's Eve. And let's kind of take a breather for a moment because we either game on here or we do book reports or book reviews, we do TV show reviews, all that. So, what better way than to close out 2025 than with just 2 nights of talking? And if you're in here, send a chat, okay? Just literally send a chat. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you want to talk about, okay? This is not a video where I'm the boss and you are to submit to me. This is a video where we all chat about the past year, both good and bad. So, first thing I kind of want to talk about tonight is the fact that I am, thanks to a friend who has Disney Plus, I've been able to start watching Star Wars Visions Volume 3. And it's excellent. Okay. It is absolutely excellent. I mean, it is pure. Tonight's episode, and let me see what episode that was. Because tonight's episode was just absolutely fantastic. And Visions has been out for a while now, okay? So this is not something that just dropped recently. But Visions has been out for a good bit of time now. And let me see if I can't find what episode that was tonight. Let's see here. And, they did some great jobs choosing these episodes. Okay, that ain't it. So it was episode 5 I saw tonight. Episode 4 was awesome. Let's see, what was that? So Star Wars Visions, season 3, episode 5 by Kinema Citrus, Yuko's Treasure. I mean, episode 5 was just like pure, full on adventure. Not with galactic stakes like Skeleton Crew was, but just a simple adventure revolving around family. Okay. And it made me feel something I had not felt in a long time. Just pure joy. Not pure joy related to anything action oriented or something. Just pure joy at the stories. And then you've got episode 1, which was the Ronin episode. And episode 3, which was the Child of Hope episode, which they did it in season 1, okay? They did the Ronin, which was the black and white episode, and then they did the Ninth Child, which now is called the Child of Hope, and they did those in episode 1 and 3, sequels to those. And now we're learning that the Ninth Child, and I'm going to bring that up. Star Wars Visions presents the Child. And it's just. So here we go. Let me get this on here for you. Windows capture. Let's see here. Star Wars. Here we go. Yeah, like the Ninth Child, the Child of Hope. It was a sequel to the Ninth Child, which was in Star Wars Vision Season 1. Okay. And now we're getting a limited series called The Ninth Child on Disney Plus. Now, I no longer have Disney Plus. The only reason I'm able to watch Visions at all is because a friend of mine let me watch it over the holidays. And he still let me watch it over the holidays. So I have to kind of go to his house and watch it and stuff because, no more password sharing. Don't want people to share your password, But, like, let me kind of shorten this down a little bit because that is way too big. But, like, that and the Ronin episode, the black and white episode, I mean, they were done. It brought back what made me love Visions to begin with. Okay. They didn't stray too far from the core material. They were both a little, they were both had a good balance of action and emotion. Okay. In fact, all of these episodes so far, I've only gotten to episode 5, but all these episodes have had like a real good, like, balance of emotion and action. Okay. Where the story doesn't rely entirely on like lightsaber battles or big time shootouts or anything like that. Where it can rely just as heavily on a quiet moment. Okay. Where it can rely just as heavily on the memories of a child than it does on lightsaber battles and starfighters fights and all that stuff. And one moment you could be laughing at something, and the next moment you could be, feeling that rush of adrenaline as, something's going on. Okay. But I know it ain't gonna happen. But let me try to find the episode I'm talking about. So Star Wars Vision Season 1. So in Season 1, there was an episode that I absolutely truly loved. And this is it right here. Now, it wasn't my favorite episode, okay? It wasn't my favorite episode. But it was still pretty good. And I absolutely loved it. Because you had this sibling rivalry going on, okay? And you had this girl who was trying to save her traditions, was trying to save what her family had known for generations. And then you had the actual sister, the actual blood sister, sitting there just tossing it all the way and destroying it. And you saw the dichotomy of that, okay? And even at the end of the episode, after all the fighting, after Lope no Chaco had ended, the sister who wanted to keep the family going, the one who wasn't born into the family but was adopted by the family, still wanted to save her, sister. Okay, still felt the need to save her sister. So there was a huge connection with family and tradition. And at what point do you give up tradition versus going for more modernity? Being more modern, getting with the times and stuff. And is that really a good idea, or can that lead to destruction? Okay. I mean, I absolutely love Lope no Chaco, and I'm kind of sad that we're not getting a sequel. Okay. I do hope they do bring it back in maybe a future episode of Visions. But outside of Skeleton Crew, Visions, well, that ain't true. Outside of Skeleton Crew and The Mandalorian season 1 and 2, I'm not going to count season 3 because to this day, I don't think Jon Favreau did set Mandalorian season 3. Okay? I don't think either if he did do it, he did it halfway, half-heartedly because someone said, "Okay, you're going to do this, 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 and you're not going to deviate." And he just was like, "Okay, fine, I give up." And I still believe that the Mandalorian Grogu is probably his send off. I think that he's probably had enough. I mean, we're getting the Mandalorian Grogu movie. I think that to be all honest, to be honest to you, okay, I'm gonna get on the Mandalorian Grogu here. I think that the Mandalorian and Grogu is probably his way of, just sending us off. And that is not what I wanted to see here. Oh, there it is. I mean, it's going to be in theaters May 22nd. But, I think that The Mandalorian Grogu is Jon Favreau's way of just basically sending us off. All right. I think that he's had enough of just everything. And I really do believe that's probably why a lot of studios, I mean, we've seen the number of productions and the number of people who want to work for Star Wars go down. I think there's something going on behind the scenes that basically is making people who make movies, who know how to make movies, like Steven Spielberg, like Jon Favreau, like all these other, like Christopher Nolan. I believe that it's basically a situation where the majority of people don't want to work for Lucasfilm or Disney or Star Wars or even Marvel. Okay. And those that do quickly find out that it's kind of like sinking sand, And that's got to change, man. Because I absolutely love Star Wars. And it ain't because I love Star Wars. It's because Star Wars is such a big part of the culture. It is such a big part of the culture, man. You know? I mean, how many people right now are soldiers and scientists because of Star Wars? How many people have gone on to be in politics? Or, a while back there was a meme. Okay. And this kind of just proves how big Star Wars is in the in the culture, okay? Let's see. Okay, this was done, I think this was done last year, okay? Alright, that they did a meme of Joe Biden. And I'm not trying to get political here, okay? Dang it. Okay, look, here's one. This is one of Trump, okay? And I'm not trying to get political here, okay? But they did a meme a while back. And let's see here. Open image and tab. There we go. So this was a meme that was done a while back. And I'm going to kind of enhance it a little bit. That's the meme right there. The first time Trump enters the White House, it's A New Hope. The second time, it's The Empire Strikes Back. That's when he was arrested. And now that he's back in president, it's Return of the Jedi. Okay. I've heard that repeated a number of times. Okay. So, what I'm trying to say is that Star Wars is such a big part of everything in culture, okay, that it has inspired people from scientists, soldiers, politicians, cops. I mean, it's inspired everyone, And I really don't want Star Wars to become one of these one of these, properties that just is so great and it falls off. And that really does kind of symbolize 2025 a little bit. Because not only did you have Star Wars kind of falling off a cliff, you had all of these huge properties just falling off a cliff. Whether you're talking about Star Wars, Star Trek, you're talking about Call of Duty. I mean, it seemed like every huge property that had built up a fan base, okay, just, I mean, out of the blue, okay, just literally out of the blue, was trying to, not to get political here, cater to a certain people, and they literally fell off a cliff in terms of support and stuff. Okay, that's literally what it feels like, and I don't want Star Wars to follow that suit, but at the same time, what can I really do about it except just don't give them my money, you know? Literally just stop. I used to have Disney Plus. This past year I had Disney Plus. And right around, let's see, July. I think it was July. No, it was October. It was October. Right after Daredevil Born Again came on. Let me see when Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil Born Again. Season 1. Okay, so when did Daredevil Born Again happen? Okay, so the final episode of Daredevil Born Again was on March the 4th. So it was about March, April. So it's about June or July that I cut out Disney Plus. Okay. And the only reason I kept it was because I wanted to see Daredevil Born Again. And also Skeleton Crew. Now I had gotten it back. Let's see, around that in 2024, late in 2024, right before Skeleton Crew came on in December. And I watched a lot of the shows I had missed. I missed Star Wars Vision Season 2 when it came out. I missed Ahsoka when it came out. I didn't even touch Obi-Wan. I did not touch The Acolyte. I saw Skeleton Crew when it premiered. I saw Daredevil Born Again when it premiered. Alright, and afterwards I just cut it off, and to be quite honest, I'm glad I did. Because now it just seems like everything is just changing and morphing. I mean, one of the big stories this past year. Hulu, let me see. Hulu. Okay, so one of the big stories this past year was that Disney took full control over Hulu. And I'm going to bring this up right here. And now they're going to have everything on Disney Plus. Okay. Now, I don't really have a problem with that, except the Disney Plus app sucks. There's no way to remove the already watched list on your, account or anything. Okay. But here's my thing. Okay. What's that going to do to pricing? So, I'll give you, I'll talk to, and here's what I mean by that. So let's say Hulu, Disney Plus bundle price. So right now, an ad-supported Disney Plus bundle is $12.99 a month. That's, no ad, that's ads, okay? Now, the bundle that has no ads with it is now $19.99 a month. And if you want ad like ESPN, you can have it for $30 a month. So, I mean, seriously, like, why would I spend $12 a month on just Hulu and Disney. And what's really bad, okay, what's really, really bad is there's no cross pollination, okay? Rarely, and I do mean rarely, do you see Star Wars programming over on basic TV, okay? Rarely do you see it. And hang on a minute, guys, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, y'all. My dog was going completely nuts, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. Anyway, like I was saying, why would I spend $12 a month on an bundle? I'll give you an example of this. So let's go with Netflix. Wait, there's a Netflix Disney Plus bundle? Okay, there ain't. Okay. For a second, I'm about to say, wait, there's a Netflix Disney Plus bundle? When did that happen? Netflix price. So you look at Netflix price. Okay. I can get Netflix with ads for $8 a month. For $8 a month. Okay. Now, the standard ad-free plan, is for $18 a month to $24 a month for a premium plan and all that, and with options, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, why would I sit there and pay Disney 12 and let me go back here, $12 a month for ads when I could sit there and get Netflix for $8? Okay. And on top of that, there's all that drama going on behind the scenes at Disney and Hulu. Okay, there's all that drama. And the thing is, the Disney Plus app, I really don't like it. Okay. And when I mean I don't like it, I don't like the interface. First off, the rewinding sucks. I think the only one worser than Disney is HBO Max or whatever they're calling themselves this week. And secondly, there's no remove watching way to remove it from your app. Okay, like let's say you watched an episode of Visions. Okay, it would still be on your continue watching. And if you want to clear that out, there ain't no way to do it. Whereas over on Hulu, if I sit there and I watch a episode of Sword Art Online and then just want to watch that episode and not have to worry about watching on the others, I can clear it. Okay. So I'm hoping at the very least, what I'm hoping is this. First, they need to drop that price. Okay. If they are putting everything onto one app, they need to drop that price significantly. All right. Because keeping it at like $12.99 a month is ridiculous. Okay. I understand if we got to watch ads. First off, okay, just my own personal belief. If you have to watch ads on a streaming platform, you shouldn't have to pay anything because you're watching the ads. Okay. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. Because they're sitting there because the argument is, oh, well, when you watch TV, you have to watch ads. Okay, but look how many channels are on TV. Okay, that means that there is more pieces to that pie that needs to be cut up. Whereas a streaming service like Netflix, like Hulu, like Disney Plus, like Paramount Plus, the entire pie goes to them. So why are we watching ads and paying for it at the same time? Okay, why? Okay, now if you want now I'm not sure if y'all remember or if y'all care or whatnot, but a while back, Crunchyroll, they're like the big anime streaming place. They had an ad-supported plan where new episodes of the anime would come out a week after they premiered. So you would have to wait an entire extra week to get these anime episodes. And then when anime movies dropped in theaters, you would have to wait a good solid 4 or 5 months to get them on Crunchyroll. Why can't they do that? Seriously, why can't these companies do that? Okay, sit there and say, hey, look, we're gonna have an ad-free plan that basically tells us, we're gonna have to wait. Let's say for Daredevil Born Again season 2, which comes out in a couple. I think it comes out this not January. I think it comes out in March or April. Let me see when that comes out. So let me see when that comes out. Disney Daredevil season 2. When is that coming out? March 18th. Okay. So season 2 comes out in a couple of months. So about 3 months. Okay. And I'm kind of on the fence about getting Disney Plus back for it because of the simple fact that they are bringing Jessica Jones on there. And it kind of gives me hope that they're going to do the Defenders. They're going to bring Luke Cage back, and they're going to bring the Daughters of the Dragon back, and Punisher and all that. But what I don't understand is this, okay? First off, only so many, especially now with the way prices are now, you expect us to pay $12.99 for a package that we still have to watch the ads on. Whereas I can go over to Netflix, I can go over, I think Paramount Plus is also cheaper. I know Peacock definitely is, but let me check Paramount Plus price. Okay, so Paramount Plus price is like $3 cheaper. Okay, so and for their ad plan, and around $8 cheaper for their premium plan. Okay, but here's the thing, like, why should we have to pay for ads? Okay, I just don't understand it. Because like when you had to watch TV, okay, obviously these companies have to pay, have to kind of share in the ad dollars that come through these companies, okay? Because not only is TNT competing against Disney, they're competing against the local affiliates, they're competing against AMC, they're competing against TBS. It's a bigger pie, but smaller slices for each company in terms of ad dollars, okay? But it almost seems like when streaming first started, everything was groovy, great, and all that stuff. And then they started jacking the prices up, and programming got worse and worse. I mean, I've heard some pretty horrendous things about Stranger Things season 5. Okay. And I just don't understand why we gotta pay for the ads. Because that's essentially what we're doing, is paying for ads. Why can't you have an ad tier that says, okay, at the end of the season, we will begin dropping one episode per week, with commercials. If you want to watch it when the season drops, fine. There's the ad-free plan. If you want access to, say, a special, like, they can make a special chat room for the premium plan that says, okay, if you choose our premium plan with no ads, okay, then we'll give you access not only to the episode, but an exclusive chat room that will happen during the premiere of the episode. Okay. So if I was like a streaming giant, okay, first off, I would have the basic ads. I would have a basic ad supported plan that was free, but it would have limitations to it. First, you couldn't watch new episodes of a show until after the current season had ended, and maybe a couple of months after that. Say 2 to 3 months after that. Then, as far as movies, you couldn't be able unless you paid separately for the movie. Okay, like there would be a way for you to buy the movie on the plan where you could put down, and it would be discounted. But let's say over on Amazon, it costs us $14 or $20 to watch this movie. Whereas on Disney Plus, I'll give you an example. Disney Plus. Let's say on Disney Plus, it costs only 10. Okay, so you could still kind of like watch the movie even though you were on a ad supported plan, free plan. Okay, but I would wait a couple of months after the movie dropped for us to have it on the ad supported plan, and from there have a ad supported plan where you get the show the day it drops. You get the movie maybe a couple of weeks after it drops, and then you get, let's see, ad supported. So, and you don't have no ads. And then the premium plan, you would get a special version of the show with a chat room. You would get no ads. You would get the movie the same, this either the same day or whenever they decide to drop it on the streaming service that day, without having to pay something. And you got like discounts at the at like a merch store or something. Okay. I mean, why can't they do it like that? Because they're greedy. And the thing was, streaming was supposed to replace cable. And instead, it's just become as bad as cable. I mean, oh man, I had some massive frame rate drops. You know, that's something else that's been going on this past year. I don't know why I'm having all these frame rate drops. You know, and I've tried everything. What am I connected to right now? I have tried everything to stop these frame rate drops. And I don't know what in the world is going on with them. But anyway, we're going to keep on plowing through. So, this is something I do every year. And I kind of see, and I do it every year. I'm going to end my stream out on this. So, let me see here. So tonight we're going to do psychic prophecies predictions for 2026. Okay. You know, we're going to be doing psychic predictions because I do this every year, okay? Every year, right around this time, I look at what the psychics are all saying is going to happen in 2026 or the next year. So let's see here. I guess we'll start with the daily. Let's try the daily record. And I don't really care about that. Okay, so Selena Avalon. Let me Google her name. Psychic Selena Avalon. So, okay, we'll go to the mirror instead. I know it's not the best. I know it's not the best place, but like I'm trying to figure out what. Okay, it doesn't really have any like information on her. Okay, she's behind the Soul Voyance platform. Okay, so she predicts like world and celebrity events and all that stuff. Okay, so she's basically like a psychic TikToker. Okay, so let's see what she's predicting this year. If we'll ever. No thanks. Okay, so. And so okay, so let's see. So this is Selena Avalon. She's supposed to be be predicting stuff. She said, I'm seeing a very big update on the big state funeral that I predicted for the end of December. The dates were December 29th of December and the beginning of the first half of 20 will be held for a male international figure with widespread ceremonial broadcasting across global media outlets. So she's predicting that a major male person will basically die and that their funeral will be held sometime in the early year. They'll have a Greek link. I saw a Greek flag flying in the sky. It'll be a massive funeral. State funeral, lying in state. The coffin will be lying. It'll be a male. It'll either be a king, a president, or an ex-president. Okay. So could that? No, it couldn't be Zelensky because he don't have Greek in him. So based on what she's saying, it could be the Greek president. Let me find out something. Let's see here. Who is the Greek president? Okay, so the president of Greece is Constantine Antisilus. Okay, so it. I mean, he's old enough, so I mean, it could be him. Yeah, so it could be him. I mean, I don't want it to be, but it could be if what she's seeing is correct. It says here the clairvoyant went on to discuss potential candidates drawn on her own investigation. Yes, she was careful to emphasize uncertainty around the individual's precise identity. I'm not sure which one of these it is. It could be a different world leader. Oh, great. So even she don't trust her own predictions. Okay, she saw Trump at the attendance of the funeral. He'll be dressed in black. And it ain't his funeral. And he'll be there with Melania. Let's see here. Okay, she said there's going to be a one world digital currency. That honestly scares the living crap out of me. Okay. That honestly scares the ever loving crap out of me. Because that sounds like Mark of the Beast stuff right there. That literally sounds like Mark of the Beast stuff right there. When you're talking about a one world, economy, currency, a one world. And plus, the thing about this, okay, I have nothing against Bitcoin, Dogecoin, whatever. But what are they based on? Like the dollar bill at one time was based on gold, right? Now it's based on debt, which means you owe 0.5%. Like a $5 bill indicates you own 0.5% of the American debt, okay? So I'm going to get, because I don't want to tell y'all wrong. So let me see here. What is the dollar based on? Okay. Okay, so it's backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government and its strong economy, relying on trust and demand in global markets. Based on interest rate, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, but at one time, it was based on gold. Okay. So, at one time, it was based on gold. And that's my point. Like, the digital economy is not based on anything, it's just ones and zeros that if you don't have an internet connection or you don't have power, you can't access. It's just out there. Okay. I mean, let me see here. What is digital currency based on? Okay, let me see here. Let's see, for secure. Okay, so a immutable public ledger that records transactions in blocks like linked in a chain. Complex encryption secures transmissions and controls the creation of new units. Cryptocurrency based on decentralized blockchain network secure Crypto designed to maintain a stable value by being pegged to flat currencies or now. See, look, I can live with like stable coins, okay, being backed by either flat currencies or commodities like gold, where there's like a flat rate. Where if you have, I'll make stable coins an example. Stable coins where there's a flat rate of stable coins, and it basically says, okay, we are going to have for every certain number of stable coins, you'll get certain number of dollars, and vice versa. Okay. Here's my problem with like no no digital currency is that there ain't really nothing you can hold on to. Okay. Like the dollar, you have a physical representation of trust with the US government or with whatever government you have the dollar with. But with things like stable coins and bitcoins, I mean, and even Dodge coins, there isn't like a physical thing you can touch and say, okay, I got this. All you've got is numbers on a computer screen. All right. That's literally all you got. And I really don't know how else to put it except it just scares me because it feels like we're going to a one world currency, and they talk about that in the book of Revelations. Here, I'll bring up the actual um what let me see if I can get this currency in Revelation. Okay, let's see here. So the passage that discovers the system prevent is Revelation 13. And it says here that everyone, rich and poor, great or small, must receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. Without this mark, no one can buy and sell. And it's the beast's name or the number of his name, which is that. And see, even here, they're saying that it could be cryptocurrency. Okay. That's what scares me because it seems like the dark parts of the Bible are coming true. Does that make sense? Like the dark parts of the Bible are coming true. Like the warnings that we've been told for years about there being a one world government, about there being a one world currency. If you look close enough, all the bricks are being laid for that road to be put on. You know, and it scares me. I mean, it scares me because I know what happens in the Book of Revelations, and when I read it like an action book, and it chills me to my bone to think what's going to happen to people who are left behind. It chills me to my bone. All right, because that's just one thing. So let's go back and let's try to find any. Okay, let's go back and say psychic predictions for 2026. Then I guess his bone shine. Okay, so let's see here. We already did the mirror. All right, so I guess we can do one more. Let's see here. It says here Janine Mayel. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, you gotta be a figures. Figures. Okay, so before we get into like Nostradamus or anything, a while back I heard Webbot predictions for 2026. So if you don't know what Webbot is, it's and I'm gonna get the exact definition on here. Okay, that ain't what I want. Webbot prediction. Okay, so the predictions are generated by interpreting shifts in language and emotional context found in news articles, blogs, forums, and other forms of internet chatter. So basically, it looks at all the internet chatter that goes on around the internet and basically tries to make predictions based on what people are talking about, how people are talking about it, etc. Okay, that's what Webbot is. So let's see here. What are the 2020s? 18 shocking. Okay, so we'll just go up here. Okay, so AI agents will gain the ability to execute long, multi hour work streams anonymously. Voice first interaction. There will be a significant shift towards a voice first society with people acting with AI via speech on their phones, which is already happening. It'll be on all devices. You'll see a surge in robotics in terms of AI. And Frontier AI will exhibit better reasoning abilities and benchmarks for tasks like coding. So we might be losing a lot of people who are in the coding industry. They're probably going to be losing their jobs. So AI is going to be a main attack vector for data breaches. Duh. Um. So a new frontier of attacks will involve invisibly corrupting the data used to train AI models. The rise of deep fakes. Let's see, bot detection systems. Widespread job losses for certain roles. So call centers might be, and that's something that's always gotten on my nerves a little bit. Is these call centers, when you call, you want to hear someone who can speak your language. So if you call from America, you want to hear an American. If you call from India, you want to hear an Indian. You don't want to call a freaking call center and get someone who can barely speak English. You know, um, AI investment, all that stuff. Now there was something else I heard about a while back called the Bible Code. All right, singer, but rather expect deeper spiritual insights, uncovering hidden meanings in Scripture. Okay, the 10 biblical prophecies. Okay, NDAs. Um. Okay, it's just okay. So, all right. So that's really all we got for that right now. But anyway, tomorrow night I'll do another stream and I'll end with some more prophecies about 2026. So before I go, I want to say that I have uploaded a new episode of the Geek Report. And let me get on my channel here and I will show it to you. View channel. So as you can see here, I have uploaded a new episode of the Geek Report. We've got a couple of things going on right now in terms of a bunch of trailers have dropped these past 2 weeks, as well as some news about a game. So that all happened. I uploaded that today. I upload it on YouTube, and I'm going to go over here to Rumble and show you what it is like over on Rumble. And it needs to verify me, of course. And there it is right there over there on Rumble. As you can see, I have uploaded it. But yeah, I did upload a new episode of the Geek Report. So I'm expecting to get a new TV. Okay. So tomorrow night, this will be just some more stress-free talking of me just talking. Okay. Me just talking about whatever comes to my mind. Okay. Now, if I don't get a new TV before next week, I might have to alter how I do things. I might have to alter how I do my streams and stuff. Okay. Because this ain't working out. Okay. This having these two big old dark lines, it's good for you can live with it in some ways, but in other ways it's a crapshoot. Okay. Just full on crapshoot. But anyway, I want to thank and one last thing before I go. I want to thank y'all for joining me this past year. Okay. I did it during the Geek Report. I want to thank y'all for joining me this past year. And I hope that 2026 will be a better year. I'm slowly learning how to use AI to make titles and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do better in the next year. Okay. So I do hope that you will continue to join me for the Geek Report into the next year. I hope you will continue to join me for my gaming streams into the next year. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to up my game next year. Okay. But beyond that, there's a couple of things I am working on. So let me see if I can't get it on here. So I am still working through the World War III book. If I can find it on here. Oh, no. World War III, book 3. Red Dawn. Okay. There it is. So I am working on this right here. I currently own it, and I've been reading this for months, but I've been off and on reading it. I'm nearly through with it. Let me just say that I'm kind of disappointed in it because it starts off strong, but I'm getting close to the end. I can already tell you it's going to, unless something serious changes, it's going to have a weak ending. Okay. So then after that, after I do the review for that, I am going to start on a new series of books that I've had for a while. Rising book. Here it is. Patriot Rising. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I currently have this book right here. And I'm going to start on this book after I get done with Operation Red Dawn. So I'm going to start here, and I just recently bought the third book in the series called The Storm Rages. Okay. Now, from what I remember of this book, and it's been kind of a while since I've read this book, this is some hardcore like action scenes in this book. And then we'll move on to book 2, and then we'll move on to book 3. Okay. So that's something else I'm also kind of planning on right now. Okay. Obviously, my geek reports are still going to be coming out. I might do a review of Star Wars Vision Season 3 later on. I was planning on doing a review of Daredevil Born Again season 2, but with the fact that I no longer have Disney Plus, that's gone down the tubes. But really, my game streams really depend on whether or not I do get a new TV. And the whole problem behind it is my uncle is the one who's supposed to be getting it for me. One of my family members, my uncles, are supposed to be getting me one, and it has not arrived yet. So I don't know like what the deal is in terms of like if it's even going to come, or if I'm just out of luck. So tomorrow I'll do another just talking stream where we're just chilling and talking like ordinary people. After that, I'm going to take a break for the rest of the week. If I do get the TV in, I will start on Civilization 7. I have decided that I will start on Civilization 7 if I get the TV in before then. If not, I'm going to have to wait until I get a new TV in. Okay. But yeah, if I get a new TV in before the 5th, I will start on Civilization 7. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. We're kind of in a wait and hold pattern because I definitely need a new TV. I mean, I need a new TV because this ain't working out. These two big black bars, and they're only getting bigger by the moment. I mean, every day I wake up, I'm honestly expecting to see my TV just not work anymore at this point, and I can't keep doing that. So yeah, I'm expecting my TV to crap out on me any day now. But look, thank y'all for joining me for these streams in 2025. I hope you will continue to join me in 2026. I hope you'll continue watching my Geek Reports. I hope you'll continue to watch all my programming that I put out on my YouTube and Rumble channels. I get the feeling that 2026 is probably going to be a year for change because, they're already doing stuff with the PS4. PS4 losing features. I'm not sure if you remember me talking about a while back, but starting this year, the PS4 will be removing legacy features like activity feeds, storage and APIs, and word filters for the PS5. But no, so I honestly would expect, 2026 quite possibly could be the last year of the PS4. Now, I've already told you that this will be my last season multiplaying on the PS4. Okay? That this will be my last season. Okay? If I don't get a PS5 by next fall, then I just won't stream games. It's just simple as that. Either that or stream stuff like Magic the Gathering Arena and EVE Online. But because I can play those on my laptop, I just haven't, But yeah, that's where we're at, But look, I hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year's. You guys take care of yourselves. I will see you guys back tomorrow for another talking stream where we'll just chat and chill. And then after that, I'll see y'all hopefully next week for gaming streams for Civilization 7. If not, I'll see you when I see you, okay? So that you guys take care of yourselves, watch over each other, y'all be groovy, y'all be cool to one another. And I will see you guys in the next video and in the next stream. Laters.